we have our tier list here in front of us. In tiers here, the top tier is MVPs, right? The guys who are our heart-winning caliber players right now. So if you see some certain players, like to allude to Kopitar, who was an MVP caliber player at one point and is not anymore. This is current MVP caliber players, right?
These are guys that are gonna be Hart finalists this year.
Yes. And then could win a Hart are those guys just outside that conversation. Could win a cup. Obviously could win a cup as a 1C. Could take a leap. If you want to talk about that category a little bit.
Yeah, so the two could take a leap category to me is like guys that are right outside of the range of being like that top tier 1Cs. They're young. All of them are going to be young, right? So they're guys that we're looking to take a leap, to be just a little bit better this year than they were last year, than they're maybe projecting to be. But if they do, they could easily be in one of these other tiers, these higher tiers.
And then please be my 2C.
Yeah, these are guys that at this stage in their careers, most of them are not really 1C caliber players, but like these are the guys that are, if they're your 2C, you're loving life. Like they're gonna be really good at that job.
But they are good enough to be a 1C somewhere in the NHL, right?
Yeah.
They should probably be a 1C. Yeah, these guys are 1Cs. But like you're not sitting there saying, man, I wish my 1C was necessarily better, unless you're trying to win a cup, right? Future 1Cs, these are your very young players, the guys who haven't really proven themselves, 1 or 2 years under the belt.
There's a bunch of these guys in the league right now,
yes,
that are gonna be really exciting to watch, but they're not there yet.
And there's a lot of other guys who are not 1Cs on whatever mostly bottom feeder team.
Yeah.
That could also make this list in theory, right? And then not a 1Cs, or these guys are just they should not be 1Cs in the NHL.
Yep.
Under any circumstance, even on non-contending rosters. So yeah, I think we can start here. These players are in alphabetical order. Shadow Jackson, who made this the tier maker here.
Yeah, and if you guys want to follow along at home, or if you want to post at us and tell us what your rankings are, why we're wrong, and stuff like that, we'll include a link to this tier maker in the episode, so you can feel free to tell us why we're wrong.
Yep. And these players are in order of first name alphabetical. So we're going to start with number 1 is Adam Fantilli of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
What a great place to start.
It is. It's the most random place to start. And I kind of like it for that, right?
No,
I kind of like not starting with Anaheim for every list,
For sure. Immediately I'm thinking could take a leap, right? Is super duper skilled, not quite there. He's 20, I think. 20?
Is he 20 or 21?
Oh, I think he's 20. He's 20.
Let me pull up real quick. He is 20. You are correct.
But I mean, insanely young, had an insanely good year. And I mean, is probably the 1C of the Blue Jackets for the foreseeable future. So they're not sad about that in the slightest.
No.
So he's definitely in the further along category, more so than he's not a future 1C. He's a 1C now. Yeah. And if he takes a leap, Columbus, they have a couple other problems in their roster, but he's not one of them. So
yeah. I mean, he's already got a 30-goal season under his belt.
Yep.
Which I think elevates him from some of these other contemporaries in this range where they're like future 1Cs. Like this is a guy who kind of has already established himself as being that 30-goal, 60-point plus guy. Could use some work on the defensive end, but has good possession metrics, good advanced stats. Like this is a really good player in the NHL right now. Next up is Alex Barkov, and I think he's in a could win a cup tier.
Yeah, I mean he did.
Yeah,
and he did it twice.
Yeah, true. He has done it twice. Yeah, no, this is an MVP caliber player. This guy's a top 3 center in the NHL, maybe top 4. depending on how psycho you want to get with your arguments.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's went head to head with McDavid twice.
Yep, and won
and come out on top.
And he's got a
lot of other
special
good
skill set.
1Cs along the way.
Special skill set among 1Cs for being such a dominant shutdown player, but also having the ability to generate offense with the best of them. I mean, he's so good.
Yeah, and not to spoil, but I mean, anybody who follows the NHL probably knows. Like, he's chewed through guys like Braden Point, Austin Matthews, and Sebastian Aho. Those are like 3 players in the East that are going to be towards the top of this list. And he's beaten all of them as well as Connor McDavid. So in the playoffs over the past few years. So yeah, I'm an absolutely amazing player. Doesn't have this offensive peak that maybe some other guys that are going to be on this same row, but I mean, defensively just brings so much to the game.
Oh, yeah. All right. And next up, we can talk about Anze Kopitar. Who I would put in the please be my 2C tier. And for me, I don't think that he could be the top center on a team that wins the cup. I don't think the Kings are that team. Sorry, Kings fans. But like I still don't think if you just drag and drop him on like, you know, the Florida Panthers or whatever, that they're still having that same level of success, right? So I would put him in the please be my 2C. I think if you're a team looking for a 2C, looking to make a jump, and you can pick up a Kopitar, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. But like, you know what I mean? He's the kind of guy that you'd want to see on your team, making that a huge like acquisition in order to really take up to the next level. So I would put him in the please be my 2C tier.
Yeah, I think if we did this last summer, if we were making content last summer, I think he could have been in the could win a cup.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
too.
This was the year where he kind of slowed down a bit. I mean, he was still good this year, right?
Oh, for sure.
But I think this is the year where he kind of took that first sign of aging. So that's where he kind of drops.
He's 37.
Exactly.
So, you know.
He's 37. He's a defensive center who takes a lot of hard shifts, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's the kind of guy you want.
Yeah.
You know, there. But hey, they got Byfield, so maybe there's thing there.
Maybe he will be the 1C.
Maybe so.
Next time we do this.
All right, and next up, it's a extremely contentious pick for sure here. Austin Matthews. I personally would put Austin Matthews in the MVP tier. I think he's a top tier 1C. There's not a. I mean, you know, he's as good of a pure goal scorer as the top guys in the league, if not better. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than Austin Matthews.
I mean, his per game scoring rate is higher than Ovechkin's
at
this point of Ovechkin's career.
Yep.
Or at the same point that, you know, Matthews is at. He's scoring at a higher rate than Ovechkin.
And, you know, if you want to win games, you got to score goals. And there's not many guys that I would trust to do that more in the regular season than Austin Matthews. So when we're talking about this, obviously we are talking about both like regular season and postseason. But I don't know if I can just like I don't know. I don't know about the postseason with Austin Matthews, but
I think he is in the MVP tier. I think he can win MVPs. I have a hard time putting him on this tier next to Barkov and maybe with guys like some obvious picks like McDavid and saying like put
because
him
of
with
the lack
guys.
of playoff success.
The lack of playoff success. Also, like he's had this past year is probably the worst year that any of this tier's had in half a decade or
but
more.
He was injured as hell, right? I mean, like he missed time due to injury. He was fighting through whatever
mysterious back ailments. So he's getting
consultations
in Germany like during road trips and stuff. So yeah,
I don't know. I still think he's that guy. He's either the lowest MVP tier player or maybe he's the highest could win a Hart player if you want to do it. But I mean, you know, he's an elite goal scorer. So.
Yeah, I'm fine putting him in the MVP tier for now. But like,
we'll see.
I have, and maybe this is just a doomer in me. I have a feeling we might have seen the peak of Austin Matthews.
Maybe so. Okay.
But next up is Bo Horvat of the New York Islanders. And Bo's interesting. I think he's a please be my 2C guy, but he's not a bad 1C.
Yeah.
He's just not a great 1C.
I don't think the please be my 2C guys are bad 1Cs. I think they're just guys that don't quite have what it takes to lead a team to a cup as a 1C. Yeah. But they're guys that are obviously would be incredible contributors as a 2C. I think Bo falls right into that range.
Yeah, I think he's like a perfect 2C in this league. You know? Pretty consistent, like 25 to 32 goal scorer.
Yep.
At this point, 33 2 years ago. So, yeah, I think he's somebody that they'd love to have as a 2C. And, yeah, pretty straightforward.
Talk about Braden Point. I would put Braden Point in the could win a Hart category right now. I don't know where he's going to fall in that category, but he's one of those guys that's right outside of, I think, the highest echelon of players. But I mean, obviously won 2 cups, obviously just an obscenely good player. You know, I think this is where he goes.
Yeah, I think slightly underrated. In the general hockey sphere, like this guy is insanely good goal scorer.
Yeah,
like
it does help.
Obscene numbers
when you have a generational playmaker on your wing.
Yeah.
So you know, in Cooch, but
I mean, I don't know if you're looking at his Puckpedia right now. Do you know how many 40-goal seasons he has?
3. That's my guess.
4.
Jesus Christ!
Like he is that level of goal scorer that you don't think of.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't. But that's really impressive. Yeah,
like he is obscenely good. I think he has the skill to win a Hart where he could win one. I don't think he ever can.
Yeah, because of who's
like,
on his team.
Kucherov
right?
is going to win that Hart. If they're both, if Point has an insane year, Kucherov's having an insane year, and Kucherov's going to win it.
Yeah, if he's like 45 goals, 90 points, Kuch is like, 100 assists or whatever, like doing something stupid like that. So
100 assists. He also has 40 goals.
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible for Braden Point to win a Hart.
Yeah.
Realistically, but like he has the talent to win.
Yeah,
one.
You drop him on a different team and the situations are slightly different, I think he'd still excel. So,
Absolutely. Next up, another contentious player, almost as contentious as Matthews, Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
I think of him in the future 1C tier.
Yeah.
He could be in a could take a leap. I think if he took a step from if his sophomore year was a step forward, he could be in that could take a leap into being an elite player. But he's just not there yet. There were struggles last year. I mean, his line ways are bad, right? His team is bad.
Yes.
But like, there's other guys who also play on some bad teams, right?
Yeah, and they look better than
and they look
Bedard does.
As good or better, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a hard time.
Yeah, the ceiling
Bedard.
is still there for Bedard, that he was projected with, but he's a little slower about it than some of the other guys that might be in that thing. So I would absolutely put him in the future 1C category.
I mean, his saving grace right now is Nathan McKinnon was like kind of very similar to him for about 4 seasons, and then exploded into like one of the best players in the NHL. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bedard has that same trajectory.
We don't need to pump the brakes yet, I think he's getting overreacted to a point of people saying he should never have been at that McDavid, McKinnon level hype. But I don't think that's like out of the question that he's not going to get there.
Nathan McKinnon's a great comp too. Righty shot. That's just like a goal scoring monster.
Although McKinnon's like much bigger than him.
Yeah, that is true.
Like McKinnon's like almost a power forward, right?
That's fair. But we'll see.
Yeah.
The skill is there.
Absolute skills there, and he should be getting better line mates. Maybe not this season.
Soon, hopefully.
Like, as soon as Nazar and Moore and Frondell and Slaggert can become like top 6 players. I mean, he could get some better line mates, or they just buy one, right?
Right. They got so much money. They gotta. I'm sure they'll buy one eventually.
They'll spend it at some point,
for sure. And speaking of Connors, I'm just gonna put Connor McDavid at the top of MVP tier. And do we need to say anything else? Are we good?
I mean, there's a debate.
Do we want to debate? Do we want to debate him versus Barkov? We can do that.
I would pick McDavid personally. Because I don't necessarily know if you put Barkov on a terrible team that he's gonna like solo carry it the way McDavid kind of does.
Yeah. I think it's easier to build a team around a generational offensive talent like McDavid that you can just rely on for, 120 points or whatever and just, doing everything than it is to build around a guy like Barkov, who still obviously has this great ceiling raising potential, right? As a, shutdown guy in addition to his offensive play. But I think I would put McDavid higher.
I agree. Next up, Dylan Larkin. Maybe less. What was the word we just used for Bedard and Matthews? Not controversial. Contentious pick, but maybe slightly. I'm not sure where I rank Larkin.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should be higher on him than I am.
He is at least could win a cup. You'll agree with me there, right? He's at least in that tier?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
If he's in could win a cup or please be my 2C.
Really?
Because, Detroit hasn't been great. But they also haven't been terrible.
Yeah, and he does have good line mates.
And, is he appreciably better than Bo Horvat? I think he's slightly better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's definitively,
He's got 4 straight 30-goal seasons.
He does.
We got 69, 79, 69, 70. And both those 69s are in where he played less than 82 games. So he was around a point per game for all of those seasons until this last season where he only scored 70 and 82. But
yeah,
still, I mean, being almost a point per game for 3 seasons, 30 goal scorer. And then this last year, I wouldn't say that was a tremendous step back for him. Still a 30 goal scorer. I still think he could win a cup as a 1C.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having him. I think he's towards the bottom of this list of could win a cup guys.
That's reasonable.
But I'm overall fine with it.
And speaking of guys in that tier that are probably higher than Larkin, we can talk about Dylan Strome.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? You don't think Dylan Strome is a potential cup winning 1C?
I don't. I think he is one of the weaker 1Cs in the NHL. I think you take him off of a line with Ovechkin, and this guy's
He scored 20. He scored 29 goals last year. 29 goals, 53 assists.
He's on
point per game. Yeah, he's got good line mates, but so do some of these other guys. You know.
Yeah, he's not hitting 30. Like I don't know.
Well, that's because he's not hitting 30 because Ovechkin has to hit his goal quota. You know, they're feeding Novi the puck so that he can become number one. I don't know. He did. So, it is a bit of a jump that he took, right? Being a 25-ish goal scorer in the 60 to 70 point range to being an actual point per game player last year with the 30. So you could say maybe that was a bit of a not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You could say that, and you might not be wrong, but I mean I don't know. Maybe. I would like to make a case that he is a 1C and that you could win a cup with him as your 1C.
I don't think he's better than Larkin.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's better than Horvat.
You don't. Okay.
Maybe I'm high on Horvat.
Maybe so. I don't know. He's a tough player.
And I don't know if I'm taking him over Kopitar. But I think that's largely because of Kopitar's reputation and his past successes, right? But
yeah, it's tough with a late bloomer like Strome, because if you asked me last year, beginning of last year, right, what tier he would be, and it'd easily be please be my 2C, right? Like that would be where he would be. But I mean, after the year that he had, it's hard to say. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the Capitals like crash and burn. I don't like the Capitals definitely overperformed last year relative to I think how good of a team that they are.
A little bit, yeah.
They're still a good team, but I think they had overall were overperforming. Especially like Logan Thompson. But like the
the goalie's video. We're throwing hands in the goalie's video.
We will be. But I don't know.
I'm fine putting him in the bottom of a could win a cup tier.
Sure. We'll put him below Larkin.
I think below Larkin.
We'll put him below Larkin in the could win a cup tier.
Certainly.
So the Capitals probably weren't gonna. Obviously, they didn't win a cup last year. But like, if the Capitals had won a cup last year, it would have been surprising. But it wouldn't have been like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was possible, right? I don't think anyone had them as favorites, right? But they could have come out of the East. They weren't getting through Florida, but like it's possible, right? Like they could have. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's borderline for sure. It's borderline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe I'm too harsh on him. Because he is a good defensive center as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but maybe that's I don't know. If he's your 2C, you're in heaven for sure. But
yeah.
But I think he could do it himself, And I know that there's players that you're gonna rank higher, that you're gonna put in the could win a cup tier that I think are weaker offensively than Dylan Strome. I think so.
We'll see. One of those guys next up, Elias Lindholm, of Boston. Yeah, this is a hard. No, I'm kidding. Elias Lindholm is. Please be my 2C. I think. I
don't know. Is he
even
a 2C? Is he even a 2C?
He probably isn't.
He is a 2C, but he's not a please be my 2C. You're not begging him to be your 2C. I think you're like, if he's your 2C, you're like content. You're probably not looking to upgrade, but you're not like, oh my God, I need him right now to be my 2C on my team. The way you are with like Kopitar or Horvat, he's worse than both of those guys by quite a bit, I would say.
Yes. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he is just in the not a 1C tier.
Yeah.
But like, he was Calgary's 2C for quite a while,
Right?
and I think they were pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it was good. But also, that was like the last time that happened was in 2021, 2022, where he was a point per game player.
Yeah, 40 goal scorer,
and then has just yeah, exactly. So he's not hitting that again.
Goals total since
he's not hitting those marks again. He's not. He had a full 82 games here on the Bruins.
Yeah.
The Bruins are not a great team, but a lot of that is maybe because of their center depth, right? Because he's got Pasta's there, like you got McAvoy, like McAvoy was injured, but like what I mean, like
for a lot of the year.
Yeah, like
that's I think he's not a 1C.
Mm-hmm. We got to justify the category somehow, right?
Exactly. I know there's going to be players in this tier. There's a few that I'm already earmarking for that, but yeah, I agree.
We
next up,
wee woo contentious alert.
Yeah, super contentious player. Somehow maybe more than Austin Matthews and Connor Bedard.
Oh my God.
Elias Pettersson. I think you can make an argument for almost any tier here. Maybe not MVP.
You could not make an argument for MVP, but you could make an argument for any other tier, I think.
So it depends on what you think happened last year. Was it a down year for Pettersson? And like just everything on that entire team went wrong? Or was he specifically a problem and a driving force of the problem that Vancouver was last year?
Yeah. And both can be true, right?
Exactly. And we don't truly know.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think he's in a could win a cup tier.
Yeah. Maybe. I might put him in the could take a leap year, but like maybe that's a bad use of that tier. But like
is a guy that scored 102 points 2 years ago.
You're right. That's a bad use of that.
And 89 points the year after. Like I don't.
I'll put him in could win a cup tier. There's a world. It's not this world, but there's a world where the Vancouver Canucks are a better team, and he could win a cup with them. And certainly if he gets back to the form that he was in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had there was locker room issues. He had injuries. Quinn Hughes had injuries. Like there's a giant storm of things that made last year so bad for the Canucks. And so we're not looking for him. I would not be at all surprised if he was back to a point per game player this year.
I agree. Especially like new coaching change, because like also like it was insane. Like Tocchet was like talking to the media about locker room issues. It's like you never see that in any sport of like the coach or manager or whatever being like, oh yeah, no, things are terrible in here. Guys are fighting openly. Like there's a civil war. Players are taking sides. Like you never hear coaches address that publicly mid-season. Maybe after season, after some guys get traded, they're like, yeah, they open a little bit up. But yeah, it's just an overall horrible environment. I think so. I think above Strome for sure. I don't know. I mean, if we delete last year, then I think he is above Larkin. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I agree. Next up, Jack Eichel of the Vegas Golden Knights. Could win a Hart.
Could win a Hart. I would agree with that. He is in that top tier players, better than Pedersen, Larkin, Strome. I'd put him below Braden Point. I like Braden Point better. There's an argument. There's an argument to be made that he's better, but I don't know.
I actually don't think so. I don't think there is an argument.
You don't think so?
I think Point is a far better defensive player.
That's definitely true.
Than Eichel. And offensively, about as good. I think a little bit better. Eichel has a lot of injuries, so it's kind of hard to compare their stats like at face value.
We're trying not to talk. We're assuming each one of these players is playing 82, which is certainly not going to be the case.
Yeah. But I think Point has more offensive and defensive to his game than Eichel does.
Yeah, he's a better goal scorer. He's a better goal scorer. He's a better defensive player. So I think, yeah.
Although if you put Kucherov with Eichel, like what could happen? You know, maybe Eichel drops 50.
It's possible.
If he plays with Kucherov. I mean, Eichel's like a very good goal scorer, but like his career high is 36. Again, injured a lot, but
yeah. He only played 68 games that 36 year. So
yeah,
but
his career high in games played is 77.
We'd love, and which he did last year. So we'd love to get another healthy year from Jack Eichel. That would be great for the game of hockey.
It would be. Speaking of often injured Jacks,
who are great for the game of hockey.
Yeah, it was great for the game of hockey. Jack Hughes.
Oh, I love Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes could win MVP.
Yeah, and you want to
debatably
could win a Hart, like top of could win a Hart.
I don't know if I can put him above Braden Point.
You don't. I would put him above Braden Point.
I think just because Braden Point brings that two-way game, and again is a very good goal scorer. But Jack Hughes, I love Jack Hughes. I think Jack Hughes he's everything that people thought Zegras was going to do. Of just being like a human highlight reel machine.
Yeah.
Like Jack Hughes is probably outside of McDavid the most exciting of these guys to watch on a game-to-game basis.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could put him above Braden Point.
Okay, we can put him below Braden Point, but above Eichel. Put him above Eichel.
I put him above Eichel.
Yeah.
I really want Jack Hughes to stay healthy.
Oh God, do I want a full season of Jack Hughes hockey? That would be fantastic.
Stop making me picking the Devils as like a top team in the East look so bad if you could just stay healthy, Jack.
Yep.
And everybody else on the Devils.
Get the Devils new new training staff. I don't know.
Maybe.
But,
I don't know. Maybe not calling yourself the Devils might
you're saying they're
might help avoiding curses.
Inviting curses. All right. Let's talk
I think
about,
I'll leave this up to you. It's one of your favorite players right here.
Oh, for Joel Eriksson Ek?
Yeah.
I love Joel Eriksson Ek, but this guy is not a 1C. He's not in the not a 1C tier. He's in the please be my 2C tier. He's the top player in the please be my 2C tier. He would be the best 2C in the league. I mean, like, he is obscene. He's got such a great two-way play. His offensive potential and his stuff is being severely boosted by playing with two of the best wingers in the NHL, right? In Kaprizov and Boldy. His offense would not be as sustainable on another team. But hey, maybe with Kucherov, he's Braden Point. No, I don't think so. But
no, I don't think he's that high.
I don't think he's that high. But he would be like he would be
Dylan Larkin. You know?
Yeah, could be. So, but I think he is just would be the best 2C basically at like the traditional like 2C role of being like two-way 5v5 player. He's extremely good at that, but just doesn't quite have the offensive upside that a player who is that category of guy needs to have in order to really like lead a team. You know, he's obviously doesn't have the ceiling of a Barkov, doesn't even have the ceiling, like the offensive potential of like a Dylan Strome, I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's my argument for why Strome would be in the could win a cup tier and Eriksson Ek would be not, is because I think Strome has a little more of that offensive upside. I don't think Eriksson Ek quite has that, but god damn is he a defensive force to be reckoned with. And plays well with Kaprizov and Boldy on that line, right? So can play, you know, doesn't hold his teammates back, but is certainly not the reason that line is good.
Yeah, and I think Minnesota wants to get a 1C.
Yeah, and they specifically
don't
want it to.
Yeah, and it cannot be named Marco Rossi.
It can't be Rossi because you know, Rossi does have that offensive potential, but it's itty bitty, and you know,
and the coach hates him.
The coach hates it. But there's some issues with Rossi. But you know, he is more of the archetype of like a 1C with the offensive stuff. I don't think Eriksson Ek quite has that, but no. God, I love.
I mean, everybody above Eriksson Ek on this list, other than maybe Dylan Strome, is like a clear play driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Eriksson Ek is not a play driver.
No, not at all.
In any universe.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of need that as a 1C. Mm-hmm. You have to be the play driver, right? Barkov is not the play driver. Point is not the play driver, but they are play drivers still.
Right.
They can do it. Eriksson Ek can't really do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But he can hold his own. Next up is Leo Carlsson of the Anaheim Ducks. He fits right into this future 1C tier.
Oh, yeah.
Still waiting for like that big year for him to really pop out.
This was his first actual year, though, like because he was heavily minutes restricted and game restricted last year. So this was like his first full year. He played 76 games at 45 points. He's good.
Also, pretty solid defensive metrics so far.
Yeah,
not like elite, but pretty good defensive metrics, especially for a 20-year-old.
No, he's absolutely a guy. I'll use the name that could take a leap thing. He's 1 to 2 years away from being in that category. I think.
Yeah.
You know, if he has a nice sophomore season here where he ups his point total a little bit and shows that same level of defensive responsibility, he's like right there at making that Anaheim team be, you know, quite scary. You know.
Yeah. I think he's below Bedard.
Yes. He's younger than Bedard,
I think
right? Or no, actually, is he? They're the same age, aren't they? I forgot Bedard was so...
Yeah. Same draft.
Was so young, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But yeah, I think he's slightly behind Bedard. But like, if you were really to press me about how great Leo Carlsson is over Bedard, I probably would allow Carlsson to be above Bedard.
There's a world where Carlsson is like the better player, like for a team. You know what I mean? Like his bigger size and his more like two-way focused play, like he's still a play driver, right? It has that potential to be. So like maybe the fact that he doesn't quite have the scoring touch that Bedard has could be offset by the fact that he has, you know, excellent line mates or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a conversation to be had, but I think Bedard is the safer pick to have above him.
Yeah.
But I will say, a guy that I would put above Bedard in that tier is up next. It's Logan Cooley. Oh, I love Logan Cooley. I think this guy is so good. He's not in the could take a leap for me, just because he's a little too young. He's a little bit not quite there.
He's older than Fantilli.
That's okay, but Fantilli is I think a little
better.
bit. Fantilli is definitely better.
Yeah.
But God, is Logan Cooley a fantastic hockey player? I mean, he's gonna be he's going to be a big reason why I think that the Utah Mammoth are, first of all, a big reason that they're so exciting to watch. All those young players on the team, they're a crazy fun team to watch. But he is, primed and ready to be their 1C.
Yep.
So he's got good wine mates. Some of the other future 1Cs have some god awful wine mates. Logan Cooley having Clayton Keller and Dylan Guenther, I think, is his right wing. So two guys that are like super duper skilled and stuff like that. I think that's just gonna boost his progression. Yeah. I think he's this year. Probably not a point per game player, not in that thing, but like he's a year away, Then this could be the year. So I love Logan Cooley. I love him here, and the top of the future 1C tier.
Yeah, I think he's so far proven himself a little more than Bedard and Carlson. Yeah. Not a ton more, but I agree. I think he is at the top of this future 1C, and I think he is really exciting. And is part of that mammoth group that I think is going to make them dangerous for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. That's a scary forward group.
Slotting in right into this row, we got them all right here together. Macklin Celebrini, who I think goes above Bedard behind Cooley.
That's where I'd put him. He's right there with Bedard. It's crazy that last year was his rookie year because it really didn't look like it.
Yeah,
the way that he was playing, the way that he was able to step in and like understand NHL hockey was extremely elite. I would say he's a guy that looks like he knows what he's doing for how young he is. So maybe that boosts him a little bit. He's in a similar spot, like progression wise, to Bedard, where he's on a team that isn't very good, and isn't quite ready. Yeah, line mates.
Well, actually, his line mates are decent. Depending on the game, because they played Will Smith on his line sometimes, and then had Will Smith as a 2C.
Sure.
So
Still,
there were portions of the year where he was playing with Eklund and Toffoli or Smith and Toffoli.
Those are solid players, but not quite
better than anything Bedard played with.
That's 100%, 100%. So, I'm down to put him. I'm down to put him above Bedard.
I think he could be better than Cooley already because of his two-way game.
Maybe,
but
I don't know.
I'm fine having him behind Cooley. But I think because he was honestly one of the analytically better defensive forwards and possession forwards of San Jose. But San Jose also was god awful at those things. So.
It's hard to judge these guys in a vacuum, especially like this tier of guys, because the situations that they're in are different. They're all fairly similarly aged, I guess, but like they're there. I'd put them above Bedard. I like the thing we made a case for Carlson and Bedard, right? To say like I think you easily have that with Celebrini. I think. The two-way game is even more proven, and the ceiling seems to be like right there. And also, he's a year younger, so being this good this early in his progression, is crazy. So,
with these four plus Fantilli, he had the best rookie season of any of these guys.
Yep, yeah, he's a year younger than all of these guys that we're comparing him to, and that's absurd. So, it's honestly absurd.
All these guys took a step. Bedard a little debatably, whether he took a step or a half step. Fantilli took like a step and a half. If Celebrini's starting off better than all five of them, like what does he look like in 2 or 3 years? Right?
Yeah,
could be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
To break up this train of first, second, and third year players, we got Mark Scheifele.
Yeah.
Who, for me, is at the bottom of could win a Hart or top of could win a cup.
I don't think Mark Scheifele's winning a Hart trophy.
Probably not at this stage of his career.
Yeah, which is what we're
also
talking
he has
about.
to
We're talking about just next year.
Yeah.
Right.
He also has to beat like the small market voting in the real world, right? Which we're not really talking about that in the real world, but like,
Right.
is he going to beat any of these like top forwards in a media voting contest? Probably not.
He's not.
Even if he had like the numbers to do it, but
I don't think he would have the number. I think he's the top of
I think he is
Cup.
top of win a cup. Yeah,
He's top of what could win a cup. He's a great 1C. He's easily the best of this set of guys that are like not like the best player on their team, but are like really good like play drivers and like really good 1Cs, right? That's kind of where these guys, maybe that's how we should have. Maybe we scrap the whole segment. Best player on their team. That's a new tier. No, but like you know what
Braden
I mean.
Point. No, Braden Point's dropping.
Yeah, I know. Braden Point gets eaten by Cooch. Oh no. And Hedman maybe, and Vassy. Oh no. No, but I mean, Mark Scheifele's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Is he definitively worse than Jack Eichel?
I'd say yes.
Okay.
It's hard to be definitive because Jack Eichel has been injured so often. But I think if Eichel had the health that Scheifele has had, I think we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
We're jumping right back into to some familiar waters. We have Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken.
Oh man, Matty Beniers.
What are we doing with Matty Beniers?
Oh, so like I don't want to break any Kraken
22
fans' hearts.
Right,
I don't want to break any Kraken fans' hearts. But he just played a full 82. His his fourth season, but his third like full season, right? Where he's third real season, right? And he put up 43 points, 20 goals, 23 assists. Now, do the Kraken have only players that would be in like the middle six? Maybe not. Maybe they only have third line players. Maybe. Yeah. But did he make any kind of impression on that team in terms of the ability to like stand out from the crowd? Like other players in that kind of situation like would probably, I don't know. Like, yes, he has bad line mates, but so does Connor Bedard, and Connor Bedard is a year younger, 2 years younger, right? Like, it's tough. He is. Like, we'll put him at the bottom of future 1C so we don't break any Kraken fans' hearts, but he's like one more dud year away from me putting him in the not a 1C category.
I think I don't think he can go into the not a 1C category. I think he's pretty close to graduating out of this future 1C tier.
Yeah.
Like, he's 2 years tops.
Sure, and then you could put him in the please be my 2C category at that point.
His trajectory is. Because like his defensive game did get better this year.
Yeah.
And analytically, his defensive game was actually really nice. So he could become that guy who's, due to his draft pedigree, is kind of always given the 1C opportunities.
Right.
And is really a 2C until Berkeley Catton or Jake O'Brien come in and take it from him.
Or Shane Wright, who had a good...
Or Shane Wright, or, he gets moved, right, so they can acquire more middle six wingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd have him lower than Leo Carlson.
Yeah, I would put him... I would put him the last on this list because he's the least likely to be a future 1C.
Yeah.
Like, because I agree with you about where his trajectory is probably going. He could be, the Kraken could be ecstatic. I mean, they have so many good forward prospects, right? So like, if he is just a 2C and he's just an elite 2C, like, those are good players to have, right? Like that two-way, we talked about that before, right? But that two-way presence is definitely important. So,
I mean, if he's Joel Eriksson-Ek and one of Cat and O'Brien or
Shane Wright
are like in that could win a cup 1C tier, like they're super happy.
Yeah.
Like, they're not disappointed at all.
Well, they're going to need some wingers.
But they need. Well, yes, they will.
They're going to need two. They're going to need two of those forward prospects we just named to make the jump. But
on the wing. Mm-hmm. But like, if one of those guys is that like top tier guy, and Matty Beniers is your Joel Eriksson 2C, like, I think you're super happy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just if none of those guys become that, and they're all a bunch of Joel Eriksson X.
Yeah, if they're all a bunch of, if they're just a team of 2Cs with all of their third line wingers that they basically have, I don't know.
Then they're the Minnesota Wild before they got Kaprizov.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, just simply find a Kaprizov, right? Surely that's not that hard, right?
No, you just draft a Russian guy in the 5th round that is insanely talented, but has shown no indication of coming over to the into the U.S. at any point. And then just wait for him to turn like 24, 25, get sick of Russia, and come over.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
What is everybody else doing? Speaking of future 1Cs, we have Nathan MacKinnon here. I think this guy could get there. I think he could be a 1C at one point in his career.
Could be.
I think he could be. No, I think there's only one team in the league he's not a 1C on, and that's the Edmonton Oilers. Every other team, I think he's a 1C. I think he's the second best in the league personally. If you want to say Barkov, I can't say you're wrong.
Yeah, I think it's the same argument with McDavid versus Barkov, where I think McKinnon's skill set is just so much easier to build a team around. Having an elite goal scoring, one of the best shots in the NHL as your 1C, it just makes your life really easy. You don't have to have the same kind of depth that Florida does in order to be able to do the things that Nathan MacKinnon has been able to do. So,
yeah, he's just insanely good player. So next up is Nazem Kadri.
Yep.
Is he not a 1C?
I don't think he's a 1C.
I think he's not a 1C. Is he better than Elias Lindholm?
Yeah, I think so. There is an art. Is Nazem Kadri a please be my 2C? I don't know. If you're the Montreal Canadiens, okay? You're the Montreal Canadiens, all right? You don't have a 2C, right? You have the corpse of Kirby Dach. So, let's say, the Flames peter out and they have a bad a bad year, right? And they're selling. Do you, contract aside, right, are you happy if you acquire Nazem Kadri as your 2C? Does that make them... I think at this stage, yes. Does that make them a contender immediately?
I think he is definitively better than Kirby Dach.
Yeah. So
I think he is definitively...
Right. But so are, better. I guess, almost every single player on this list. So I would hope. So, but I guess my question is there a case to put him at the bottom of please be my 2C after Bo Horvat? Is he more of a Bo Horvat than an Elias Lindholm? No, obviously we're not looking at his contract because I think the contract is not good. And he's gonna...
We haven't considered that for anybody else either.
Right, obviously. But just next year, is Kadri going to have another solid year? I haven't actually pulled up the...
I mean, he scored 30 goals 3 times in his career. He scored 35 last year.
Yeah.
He did it twice with Toronto, which is, a while ago. I mean, the year before last, he scored 29, so basically 30.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then 2 years before that, he scored 28 and 71, so he can conceivably get 2 goals in those last extra 11 games.
I don't know. Maybe he is not a 2C. Maybe he's the best not a 2C instead of the worst please be my 2C.
I don't think you want Nazem Kadri as your 1C.
Yeah, stay tuned for the 2C episode where we will just put Nazem Kadri in that episode too, and we'll see.
I mean, if we're putting Nazem in the 2C video, we should probably put Leon in this one.
No, because then that lets us have the Leon Draisaitl tier in the 2C episode where it's just him, and then we'll have like 3 more tiers that are empty, and then we can put actual 2C players. So,
well, also Malkin is going in that Leon Draisaitl tier.
Malkin is going in the not a 2C tier. I'm sorry, but.
Stay tuned for our 2016 2C tier list.
Yeah, we're
going back in time to 2016.
Back time, yeah.
Where Malkin will be at the top of the 2C tier list by gap. Yeah.
I'm comfortable putting him in not a 1C, and we'll see.
Not a 1C.
We'll see, because I don't think his game is going to age particularly well. So I just think he's more of a. As the skating goes down, I think that he's just not going to be as good. So I think,
yeah,
we could see him have a worse year this year than he did last year. And if he does, then he's easily qualified in the not a 1C category, I think, right next to Lindholm.
Yeah. Also, and this is kind of maybe not fair, but as a Toronto fan, you do not want Nazem Kadri to be the crux of your center depth, because odds are he catches a suspension in the playoffs in a terrible time. Did it with Toronto multiple times, did it with Colorado, and if that's your guy,
but hey,
then that's a big blow.
We did feature him in the 2C episode, but that was years ago. So
yeah. Well, I mean, he did not catch suspension that year.
Yeah, that's true.
He caught it the year before, I think, his first year in Colorado. But yeah. Okay. Next up, one of your favorite players.
Yeah. It's Nick Suzuki. I love Nick Suzuki. I'm gonna immediately put him in the could win a Hart tier. I don't argue with me. God, Nick Suzuki is a guy who has that two-way aspect to his game, and had an awesome year. Finally, justify 89 points last year after 77 the year before that. Right? He is, I think, the real deal when it comes to those two-way 1Cs that can absolutely do it. He's finally got some good young wingers on his side. But he is the play driver. He is the playmaker. He is the defensive menace. He does everything for the Canadiens, and he's a guy that there's not very many teams that he wouldn't be the 1C on. I'm gonna make an argument to put him above Jack Eichel and below Jack Hughes. I will split up the Jacks. That might be a little crazy. And you can stop me if you think I'm crazy, but I don't know. I just like Nick Suzuki. I think he's gonna do it again next year. I think he's gonna have more than 90 points this year if he's healthy. I think he's gonna have more than 90 points. I think he's gonna be crazy. I think he's a guy who could get Selke votes. Probably not with the way that the Panthers work, but if the Panthers didn't exist, he's a guy that could, right? And then
he'll get votes.
Yeah, for sure.
He won't win.
Won't win it. But and I think he's a guy that's gonna do that. I think he could win a Hart. I think he is the most important piece of the Montreal Canadiens, and I think they're a good team. I think they're gonna be a really good team next year. So if that doesn't make him, a Hart candidate, I don't know what does.
Okay.
Now rein me back in.
I have a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
Is he definitively better than Mark Scheifele?
I think so. I think so. I think he's I think he's a better two-way player than Scheifele is. And I think he shows the same kind of offensive thing. I think he has worse line mates than Mark Scheifele. Right? And I think he's still able to get it done. So I'm going to say he's better than Mark Scheifele.
I think he is. I don't know about a whole tier different, but yeah.
I think we already made the argument that Jack Eichel was a tier above Scheifele, right?
Yes.
So
I'm
now I
comfortable
can
with
make
that.
now I can make the argument that Suzuki is better than Jack Eichel.
I'm interested.
Okay, so two-way player, right? And a similar level play driver, not quite as good of a pure goal scorer, but I mean 30 goals last year, 33 the year before that, right? Competent goal scorer. But is really a play driver and really a two-way menace. I don't know, if the Canadiens had a 2C, they would be such a good team, and I think people would talk more about Nick Suzuki. Obviously, they're still a media team, like a popular team because it's the Canadiens, right? But like I still think people are sleeping on them a little bit. And they might sleep on them again because they still might not be that good because they're still missing a little bit of center depth. But he's not the reason for that.
They are in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be in the Atlantic, but
it's hard to say like, oh yeah, they should be above Florida, Toronto, Tampa automatically. You know.
Look, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. Like, how good is Nick Suzuki if you put him on the top line? If you switch him and Barkov? You know what I mean? If you put him on that line and you give him the responsibilities, he's not as good as Barkov in that response, which is why he's not in the same tier as Barkov, right? Okay. But like, Jesus Christ, would you think that guy was a monster, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. I think I really like him. I hope he doesn't like prove me wrong by having like a terrible year this year. I don't think he will. I think he broke out last year as like a true, actual like this caliber of player, and I'm projecting him to do the same thing next year. I think he's going to be, and his line mates are only improving too. So I think his numbers are gonna still be good. So
I just think Eichel has a bit more.
He's more proven for sure.
Established pedigree.
Yeah, Eichel
has 3 straight years. Yeah, not healthy, but like per game,
and he's won
as
a
good
cup.
as this one.
So you know, sure, but like, I don't know. I like Nick Suzuki. We can put Eichel.
I do too.
We can put Eichel above him. We can put him at the bottom of could win a Hart tier, but I'm putting my foot down that he is in that tier.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I don't think he is going to win a Hart.
No, he's not. but that's because
if
the Hart.
Montreal takes. If Montreal
Montreal's a popular enough team, it's possible.
Then I think he could.
He could win one in a couple years. I think. Yeah. Because I mean, you know, he's only 25.
I do wonder though if he is going to be Braden Pointish. That like, if Montreal explodes, is it going to be Cole Caulfield?
Maybe
that wins that Hart, you know, because he's going to have 60 goals or something ridiculous, right?
But why does he have 60 goals? It's because Nick Suzuki. It's because of Nick Suzuki. And why can you field an offensively like talented enough like a Cole Caulfield, you know, and have him play like hard minutes? It's because of Nick Suzuki, because he's got the two-way game to be able to just be that guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Next up is, I think, quite possibly the most underrated player on this list. Maybe not underrated, maybe underappreciated. Is Robert Thomas of the St. Louis Blues.
We're gonna appreciate him properly, right?
I think so. I don't know if he could win a cup or could take a leap. I don't know if there's a lot more to his game. But like, could you tell me he could score 30? I think so. I think he could score 30. I mean, this guy's a possession monster.
Yeah.
He is maybe not a defensive two-way monster, but he's a pretty good defensive center. Back-to-back 60 assist season.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he's kind of the 26 goals as a peak is a little lower than you'd like, right? You'd like a guy who scratches 30. But I'll be honest with you. I think he's better than Dylan Strome.
I agree with you.
I think you put him on Washington. You put him with Ovi. Not that Kyrie's bad, right, as a winger, but you put him with Ovi. I mean,
I think he's better than Dylan Larkin. I'd put him above Larkin too.
I'm fine with that.
I'd put him above Larkin too.
I
think he's better than Elias Pettersson.
It depends on what Elias Pettersson we're talking about.
I know Elias Pettersson freaking ruined all of our.
Pedersen 2 years ago is like Thomas's peak.
Yeah, all of these guys in this tier, I think, are relatively consistent. Like, you kind of know what they are, except for Pettersson, which is why he's so tough to place, I think, in this tier. But
a couple years ago, Pettersson is a tier higher.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. A couple years ago, he's in the could win a Hart tier. In fact, before this year, I would have put him in that tier.
Yeah.
So, okay, we can put Thomas below Pettersson.
But I
don't know that that's right. You know, I don't know that the Canucks with Robert Thomas aren't a better team. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible.
Well, okay. In a straight swap.
Yeah.
Debatable. Yeah. I
don't know. You know, I don't know. He's I mean, you know, regardless of the fact, I think he's the exact kind of center that would be really good with Quinn Hughes, which is to say any center because it's Quinn Hughes. But like, you know what I mean? Like, he's that kind of player. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. Elias Pettersson probably has a little bit of a higher ceiling at this point in his career. We've seen him have that higher ceiling as recently as last year, right? So, you know,
I don't know if he has a higher ceiling, but he has a higher peak.
Sure.
He might have a slightly higher ceiling.
Maybe. I don't know. I think this is pretty much who Robert Thomas is at this point. I think he is about a point per game or higher player. He had actually only played 70 games. So he's a better than point per game player who's not a fantastic goal scorer, but is a very good offensive play driver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as a good defensive game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Not great, but good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He's definitely he's worse. He's not as good as Mark Scheifele. We'll say Scheifele's better. But him versus Pettersson is just it's a question of I don't know.
I think
I want to put him above. I want to put him above.
I want to put him below Pettersson this year. And next year depends. Like, if Pettersson continues either flat or continues a downward trajectory, then Thomas passes him.
Look, we're trying to make predictions here. I'm trying to make predictions here, Colin, you know.
I think Pettersson is going to bounce back.
I think Robert Thomas will have a better year. I think he'll have a better year. I think Pettersson will bounce back. I think Robert Thomas will have a better year. I don't know. I like this Blues team.
I mean, yeah, I think the Blues are just better than the Canucks.
Yeah.
But
why? But why are they better than the Canucks? Is it because of Robert Thomas?
I do not think so. I think it's because the Canucks' forward depth is tragic.
It is really tragic. Okay, fair enough.
And their goaltending is like a massive question mark. Which, I mean, Columbus's goaltend is also not the most consistent, or not Columbus, St. Louis's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll put Thomas above Pettersson.
Woo! Let's go.
But I think
you were just talking about how he's underappreciated. You know,
I mean,
let's appreciate him a little bit here.
I don't know. Now I'm almost thinking we're maybe overhating Pettersson now.
No, we're. I mean, he's just an inconsistent player. You know, he's had a bad year, and I don't think he's going to be 100 point per game. Or he's not. I don't think he's going to have a 100 point season next year. I think he'll have 80 something. I think he'll have 80 something. you know? And I think Robert Thomas plays all of them, could have a 90-plus point season, could have 30 goals, you know? I think he's got a better two-way game than Pettersson does.
I mean, Pettersson's two-way game is pretty good.
It is pretty good. Okay.
Was pretty good. Was pretty good. Yeah. Was terrible last year. Was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll depend a lot on the trajectory of Pettersson, but I think they're very close.
Yeah.
Like, I do not think you could fit a player in the NHL between them.
Well, I'm going to make an argument with our next player. And I know you're going to disagree. Yep. So let's get into it. You want to lead in? This is your guy.
Next up is Roope Hintz of the Dallas Stars. I think Roope Hintz is better than both of them. I think he's a could win a cup guy. I think he's better than both of them. I think his defensive game has consistently shown to be better than both of them.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Fantastic two-way forward. 3 straight 30-goal seasons. Conceivably, you could say could have hit 30 goals last year if he played the full 82.
Yeah. Not the same level of play driver, I think. And that's where I'm gonna make the argument here, okay? That's where I'm gonna make the argument, okay? So we're talking about the baby version of McDavid versus Barkov. It's the same kind of thing. I think Robert Thomas is a way better player to build your team around than Roope Hintz, because I think the Stars have just a phenomenal and insanely deep forward pool, right? They have a great forward pool. He has fantastic line mates, right? And Robo and Rance, right? Just some of the best wingers you could possibly have. And he has an incredibly talented offensive set of centers behind him, right? In Duchesne and in Wyatt Johnston, right? We talked about these guys in our last episode, right? But he is probably the third best offensive center on his team.
Sure.
Right? So there's so much value in a player like this, right? We love our two-way guys. But I don't think he has that play driving, that playmaking, right? He's a competent goal scorer. Yeah, he's a good finisher, right? But he doesn't have the same level of setting up other guys that some of these other players do. And so while he's definitely a much stronger two-way player than Robert Thomas is, I think the level of skill here is relatively similar, and I think Robert Thomas is the easier player to build around.
Maybe if Robert Thomas had a 30-goal season under his belt,
sure,
I could get there. But Robert Thomas has hit 30 goals or 20 goals 3 times in his career. And Roope Hintz has hit 30 3 times in his career.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like if you were to give me my choice of players to build a cup-winning roster, and of this tier of players, I'm probably leaning Scheifele.
Yeah.
And then I think my next pick is Hintz.
Okay. You know what? I'll
Robert Thomas is there. And I think Robert Thomas could reach the could win a Hart tier. Because I think unlike all these other guys, he is still going up. He is not plateaued. I think all these guys have plateaued.
Hintz is not sniffing that tier.
No, Hintz is not sniffing that tier. Scheifele's not. Larkin's not. Strom's not.
It's an interesting place for him to be as the only. I guess there's kind of a strong two-way guy in each one of these tiers. He is the two-way player in this tier.
Yeah.
Right. But Yeah, I'll let you have it. I think it's a reasonable thing to say that he would be a better piece to build around than Thomas. I do think Thomas is going to be easier to build around, and I do project him to maybe have a better year next year. But I mean, we'll see. They're very close in skill. I think. Those two guys are very close. I think Pedersen is also very close. I think Larkin's pretty close there too. Larkin maybe on the downward trend a little bit, in terms of like where he's going, but he's still right there. So I like this tier is what I'm trying to say. I like this. I think these guys are all in the same tier. Scheifele is easily the top of them, and then there's a jumbled mess of guys after there, and but I think they could all win a cup. There. And then Strom's there, We'll see though. Strome could have another good year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then next up is Sean Couturier, who is, in my opinion, the worst player on this list.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know that it's necessarily close.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if Sean Couturier is the 2C on most teams.
Yeah, I think he's an elite 3C.
Yeah, I think.
And maybe that's a little harsh. But yeah, like this is a guy who peaked pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. And since then, I mean, injuries. There's been some injuries in there, but he hasn't had a 20-goal season this decade.
That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough.
He's a good defensive player. Really good defensive forward.
No, for sure. He'd be a good 3C. But I don't know. I don't know if he's... Yeah, he's definitely in the not a 1C category.
Yeah, definitely should not be a 1C.
Yep.
Philly, it's obscene. Which apparently they're going to try Zegers at center this year. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Maybe Zegers becomes the 1C.
Maybe we should be talking about Zegers.
4 games.
I don't know if I'd put Zegers in anything other than the not. I think Zegers is a winger. I think he's probably a top 6 winger.
He might not be a first line winger.
But yeah, he might not be a first line winger. We'll see.
Next up, another one of your favorites.
Oh yeah, another 2-way guy that I'm gonna throw immediately into the could win a heart tier.
Yeah.
Sebastian
Aho.
Mm-hmm. Seb Aho. So my eyes are drawn to the large perceived gap in my brain between Jack Hughes and Jack Eichel.
Really?
Yeah, but I might throw him above Hughes, and I think you could even make a case to put him at the top of this tier.
I immediately thought above Hughes.
You immediately thought above Hughes. I guess
I think that's hard. A little unfair to Hughes.
It's hard with Hughes because of the injuries, right? Like what? Yeah. Like what does a full Jack Hughes season look like? How much of a monster are we talking about here? Like I mean,
we kind of saw it 3 years ago when he had 43 goals and 99 points.
Yeah, and he was how old then?
That was his 4th year.
So his year 20?
He was 21.
21, right? Like
yeah.
20, and now I don't know. He has been improving year after year. It's hard. Let's put him.
It's for me. It's not as much about Hughes as much. I think Aho's phenomenal.
He's so good.
Like Aho is what Suzuki and Hintz want to be.
Yep. Yeah, he's the fully evolved form of those guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's an even further evolved form of Alex Barkov.
Yes, right. Yeah, that's the if they're Pokemon, he's the that's the top evolution is Barkov, and Seb Aho is the second. But yeah, I mean
I don't know. Maybe he is. I think you might be right. I think he might be below Jack Hughes.
It's hard
because Jack Hughes can explode at a way higher ceiling than Aho.
For sure.
But I think if you were to bet on who has a better season, I think a safer pick is Aho.
Actually,
because I think you know what you're going to get out of Aho.
So this tier is called Could Win a Heart.
Yeah.
I think Seb Aho is the guy in this tier right now that is the most likely to win a heart.
I'd pick Hughes over that.
You'd pick maybe this is because of injury. A little bit clouding my judgment, but I just can see a world where he has a 90+ point season with some of the best defensive metrics ever, and the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the Metro by a wide margin, and
that's already,
and then he's there. But they weren't.
Oh yeah, they were behind Washington.
They were behind Washington, right? Well, yeah, I do too. But because the Metro's so bad, right? What if they win a President's Trophy? Yeah. And he's the clear winner, a clear leader on that team. He has a 90+ point season. He's got a crazily good two-way play, right? There's a world where he's a Hart finalist.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Let's put him above.
Agree.
Let's put him above. That was your initial reaction was to put him above Jack Hughes, and I'll agree with you.
I just feel like if Jack Hughes peaks,
yeah,
he will win the Hart that year.
Yeah.
Whatever year Jack Hughes
puts together 82 games and
an 82 game dominant healthy season, he will win the MVP. He will beat McKinnon and McDavid and Matthews.
Yeah.
But it's just a question, will he do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got a lot of years
to
do it. So we got to hope.
Yeah, he's 23.
We got to hope he puts together one of those years. So, but speaking of guys that have a lot of years ahead of them, the next player on our list is my jersey's sake here. Gotta whip out the Sidney Crosby jersey here so that I can have a lower opinion on Sidney Crosby than you do. I would put him in this could win a heart tier.
I agree.
I would put him below Jack Hughes in this tier. That's where he's looking to be. I've been eyeing this hole between Hughes and Eichel for the last however many picks. I'm trying to split up the Jacks. I think Sid is the perfect guy for it. Obviously, he's still an amazing player, just absolutely elite. But he is slowing down.
Is he?
He's not. Yeah, he's slow. I mean, his foot speed is. I don't know that his actual pace of play is, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So Sid obviously will not win a Hart again, right?
Yeah, because he's just on too bad of a team.
Yeah, Pittsburgh will just never be.
It's never going to be a relevant team. Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh will not make the playoffs again in Sidney Crosby's tenure.
Yeah,
unless a lot of things go really well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And Habs fans, I talk good about Nick Suzuki, so you can believe me when I say that he's not going to leave Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not leaving Pittsburgh.
But if I wanted to win this season, I'm picking him over Jack Hughes.
But is that because he's somehow had more healthy seasons in the last 3 years than Jack Hughes? I don't know. I think
I'd probably pick him over Aho too.
I don't know. I think I'd take Aho.
Right, ignoring contracts and the future
and the fact that
he's right.
Yeah. Well,
if you're looking at next year, who would you want? Crosby or Aho? I'm taking Crosby.
Okay. You don't want to predict.
And he's my favorite player of all time, so I'm biased, right?
Yeah. Well, he's my favorite player of all time too, so I'm also biased.
I'll just acknowledge that now.
But you have to think he's going to be 38 next year.
Does it matter?
At some point it will.
Yeah.
But is it this year that it matters is the question, right? To me, are we going to get another... I do think we're going to have another point per game season out of Sid, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll be as good as he was last year. But maybe that's because.
I think his
but maybe
point
that's
totals are
because
gonna go down.
Yeah, but maybe that's because the Pens are planning to sell off 1 to 2 of his wingers.
Yeah, if they get rid of Rust and Raquel and replace them with McGroarty and
Koivunen?
Sure. I don't even know. Mantha.
Nah, he's losing Mantha too if Mantha gets put on that line. So yeah.
Eventually, yeah. So like he probably won't get 50, 60 assists because like who the hell is he passing to? But like also it's Sidney Crosby, so he might get 50 assists with me and you on his wing.
He might.
You know?
He might. And they play the Flyers enough times.
They're in the Metro.
They are in the Metro. There's some real bad teams that they get to play against. They are one of those really bad teams.
He is. So. He's always been that guy that's like elevated whatever people he's played with. So
I mean, yeah, sure. Maybe you could make. We're taking into account like.
I think he's below point.
I'll
concede that.
There's some crazy things you can say because it kind of depends on what we're taking into account, right? Because if we're also taking into account the fact that he has been in the league for 20 years, the fact that he's won Conn Smites, the fact that he's done all of this stuff, right? Like maybe there is a case that like if you're just saying, if you're just like picking up a team and you're like, I just want to make the team that will do the best, right? That he is a better piece to build around than Aho and Hughes because of the experience, because of the consistency that he's been able to show, because of all that stuff. Maybe, but I don't know.
If we're playing that game, time. I'm taking him over Matthews.
Yeah, that's reasonable. If we're taking into account his Conn Smites, so we have to take into account Matthews shitting the bed. Right. So But I don't think that's the game we're playing. I think we're thinking about what we're getting on the ice, right? And I think what we're getting on the ice is not as good as Aho and Hughes next year.
I'm fine putting him below Aho. I don't know if I agree about Hughes.
Okay, well then,
but it just depends on what Hughes season you get.
Let's do that then. Let's put him below Aho. We'll put him above Hughes. I'm comfortable with that. God, Sidney Crosby is so good.
He's insane. It's illegal that he is as good as he is at this point in his career.
And God, am I glad that he's on my team, even if my team is so bad. He makes the games bearable to watch, and for that I am eternally grateful.
Yeah.
Also, all the cups,
I'm so mad that he dealt with the injury crap he did early in his career.
Oh yeah,
because man, what kind of player could he have been? Or like, not what kind of player could he have been? What kind of
What kind of like ridiculous numbers could he
Mount
have put
Rushmore
up? What kind of
could he have been?
Yeah,
because he's debatably a top 5 player of all time. But there's a debate, and there's a lot of guys that he's in that argument with.
Yeah,
if he continues on his trajectory from like 2009-10 onwards, then like he doesn't deal with like missing 3 straight years
with all the concussions. I mean,
then like he might be really high on that list. Yeah. Speaking of old guys,
that's a good transition.
Yeah. Steven Stamkos of the Nashville Predators.
Where do you have him?
It's tough.
It's not for me.
I think he's in the Please Be My 2C.
No, he's not a 1C. This is not.
Well, so for one, he's probably shouldn't be a center.
Yes, he is not a center. He is not. I don't even think he's a first. I don't even think he's a first line winger. I think he's a second or third line winger that you bury in 5v5 because he's so bad at 5v5 now, and you just have him in. He's fucking Patrick Laine on crack.
That's a little disrespectful to Stamkos.
He is not a good 5v5 player at this point in his career. He is a net negative in 5v5 at this point in the career. He is still a phenomenal power play guy, you know? And yeah, he's not, I mean, you know, that was obviously an exaggeration. But like I think he is a second or third line winger that you put on your top power play unit, and he is just a goal scoring machine there. He instantly elevates your power play to be very, very good because that's the kind of player that he is. But you do kind of have to bury his 5v5 because I don't think it's good.
I think he could be a first line winger still.
You think he's got maybe so? Maybe if you put him on
you
Nick
put him
Suzuki's
with like
wing, you know,
Suzuki and Marner.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he needs so much help there, right? Like, I don't think he's the average. Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, there's a lot of wingers you could say would be worse than Stamkos on their wing.
He scored 27 goals last year.
Yeah.
And 14 of them were on the power play. It's more than half.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's crazy.
And 53 points, 21 of those were power play points. So those are abysmal point total. I know the Predators were not a good team, but those are not very good numbers, right?
Yeah.
So he's 1 year removed from a good season with the Lightning. But like that and that's the thing,
he
like
got buried.
He gets
5v5.
to be, and he got to play if he was getting like play with Cirelli, with like Anthony Cirelli, one of the best, you know, defensive 2Cs in the NHL, right? Like, you know, he's the kind of guy that you kind of have to construct your lineup around, and he does have a skill that's really valuable at the NHL. Like, you know, you want to have a good power play. But that's not like what you can't have your 1C or even your 2C, I think, be a guy that is just a power play merchant. And that's what he kind of is at this point in his career, it looks like.
So do you have him above or below Elias Lindholm?
Ooh.
I think he's below Kadri.
Yeah, he's below Kadri. I would put him below Elias Lindholm, I think.
I think he's a worse center than Elias Lindholm is.
He is.
But I think he's a better player than Elias Lindholm is.
Okay, let's put him above Elias Lindholm then. If we've already clarified that he's not a 1C in the category. So we'll just say he's a better player than Lindholm is. I do think he has more to offer as like to a potential like Stanley Cup winning team. He's a guy that has an immense amount of playoff experience, right? He knows that, like, he's proven that he can get it done there, right? Mm-hmm. And he has that skill. Like those power play goals can be hard to find when in the playoffs, right? But you're gonna get those opportunities, and Steven Stamkos is gonna make sure you don't miss those. But obviously, he's not gonna do that as the 1C of the Nashville Predators, and I don't think he would do that as any kind of center at this point in his career. So,
next up is another contentious player.
Woo!
So, I think he could go in a lot of tiers here. This is Tage Thompson of the Buffalo Sabres. I think he can go in anywhere but MVP and future 1C. Maybe not Please Be My 2C either.
I don't know.
So there's one argument.
You could make a case.
There's a case.
There's a case.
That he's not a center at all.
Yeah. And in fact, he might not even get deployed as a center.
He's
on the
his
Sabres
best
team.
Deployments have been as a winger.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then you have the issue of he has 2 40-goal dominant seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then some questionable seasons. He's an above average defensive forward.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, he's not a defensive forward. He has above average defensive contributions for a forward.
because he's so big and able to win puck battles and stuff. Like, he's a strong guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not like a Hintz Suzuki, not even like a Thomas.
Well, and a lot of that is why he's not deployed, maybe not best deployed as a center.
Yeah. Also can't take a face-off to save his life.
True.
But as we saw with the face-offs episode,
Yeah, that
last
doesn't
week.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
We talked about face-offs. Doesn't matter. You can lose all your face-offs.
He's really tough to place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're talking about peak Tage Thompson, right? 40 goal power forward monster. Could win a Hart.
Mm-hmm.
But also, he has not been a play driver of a successful team.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of not been a play driver at all. No, he's been a play driver. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's so weird.
He's a weird guy.
I think he's best as a finisher and not a play driver.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of has to be a play driver because Buffalo's not surrounding him with quality play drivers.
Yeah, his best deployment would be on the wing of a could win a cup center from our tier list here.
Like, you put him with Robert Thomas.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We're cooking.
Oh my God.
We're winning a cup.
We are winning a cup. That is a first line that is just absolutely crazy.
You can put whoever on the other wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where you put him.
I don't think it's likely that you win a cup with Tage Thompson as your 1C. I think you could easily, like we said, win a cup with him as your one right wing. I think he probably isn't quite there, but maybe he is. I don't know. Is he a better, he's probably a better hockey player than Dylan Strome.
I think,
if
we're grading the hockey player,
yeah, we're grading just the hockey player.
He lands somewhere between Eichel and Pettersson.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I think that's the range that we're looking at for him as a hockey player. But him as a 1C, right? Him as the play driver, the centerpiece of like a top line. I don't know.
Like, I almost want to put him in could take a leap.
That's not the worst.
Because like, if he becomes a little bit better of a play driver and a bit better at just like being a center, like, he could be a monster.
Yeah. You want to talk about Joshua Norris instead? And say that he's just going to play wing next year?
But
I don't think
I think they want Tage Thompson to be
I think they do
the
too.
1C.
They want him to be the 1C.
But
Can you put a guy who's 27 in the could take a leap category, which currently only has Adam Fantilli, who's 20 years old and like had a crazy season? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Tage Thompson is a monster goal scorer, is a fantastic hockey player. I don't know.
It's so tough to rank him.
Let's put him in could take a leap. Let's put him there.
I'm fine with that.
Let's put him there. We'll see if he can take a leap as a center, or maybe the team around him can take a leap and cover for him a little bit or something. I don't know, but we'll see. It's very possible that he just doesn't get any play as a center.
And
this year, and that he's just an elite winger.
And he's not on the list next year.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yeah. So next up, we have he's at the bottom of the contentious list, I think, of players, is Tim Stützle.
A lot of people don't like Tim Stützle.
What do you mean by not like him?
Like, they don't think he's a good hockey player.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Tim Stützle is a good hockey player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's quite a good hockey player.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know if he's an elite hockey player.
Yeah. My thing with Stützle, could you win a cup with Tim Stützle as he is now as your 1C? Maybe. Like, maybe. It's that'd be really close. Could I see Tim Stützle winning a Stanley Cup though? if assuming Ottawa gets it together a little bit, like they're firmly a good team, like in contention, I would say here. But like, could I see Tim Stützle being I think so. I think I would put him in could take a leap, maybe. He's still improving. I think he's only 23, right? I think he's still getting there. I don't think we've seen the final form of Tim Stützle.
No.
The final form. I mean, 3 years ago, he's almost a 40 goal scorer, right?
Yep.
39 goals. Yep. And then last year he was 79 points in all 82, 24 goals, 55 assists. So not quite as good as some of the peaks that he's shown, but that's what you kind of see with some guys like that. I don't know if he could flash that 2022, 2023 season, like that guy as a consistent player, that guy easily wins a cup, right?
Yeah.
That guy immediately shoots up towards the top of the could win a cup tier. Maybe even the bottom of could win a heart tier. There's that possibility is there, right? That possibility is there.
I mean, you look at the last 4 years, ignoring his partial COVID bubble year, because that year's weird. 22 goals, 39 goals, 18 goals, 24 goals. I mean, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
In that. Yeah. And the 39 starts to look more like an outlier. So then you wonder, is he going to reach that again?
Yeah.
Good defensive metrics.
You also think about him being 23, right?
Yeah.
That there's still plenty of upward trajectory, I think, for him to get back to that 39 goal, or even if he's just a 30, 35 goal scorer, right? But still is putting up over a point per game, right? Like that's still a player with his like defensive possession metrics that could win a cup, right? So I think he's at the top of could take a leap for me.
You think he's higher than Tage?
Yes. I think he's more likely to take the leap than Tage. I think he's also closer to being a 1C that can do that than Tage is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't know that Tim Stützle is going to win the Stanley Cup as the best forward on his team.
Yeah, but neither is Ropa Hintz, right?
No.
So,
Well, I just don't think he's going to be in that could win a heart tier.
Sure. That's reasonable.
Maybe if he's able to make 40 goals, 90 points consistently.
Yeah.
But
right.
I mean, even look at his possession metrics, they're lower than you would like. His defensive, I mean, I don't know.
Hey, but if the ceiling is Mark Scheifele, we're happy with that.
Yeah.
If we're Ottawa and this guy could be Mark Scheifele, if he just needs a little bit of consistency shown to be that at that level, like they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
They've got the pieces. They've got the pieces in play to potentially make some noise. So, all right, you want to finish us off?
And then last up is Vinny Trocheck of the New York Rangers. A team that is debatable who the 1C is here.
Yeah.
It was by deployment Trocheck last year. Earned the trust of the coach. They acquired Miller midway.
I think he's a better player.
Zibanejad at his peak is better than probably both Miller and Trocheck, but it seems like he's fallen off a cliff. Trocheck definitively in the not a 1C tier. Right? Definitively not a 1C. I think Trocheck gets overhated a little bit.
I think he's please be my 2C.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think there's too many teams that wouldn't love to have Vinny Trocheck as their 2C. I'll put him at the bottom of that tier. I'll put him firmly after Bo Horvat. I'd rather have Bo Horvat than Vinny Trocheck, but I think he's got more to offer than like Kadri does.
I think Kadri's a better player than Trocheck. Personally. To me, like, the please be my 2C is guys who can hold down a 1C spot, but you'd really want them to be 2Cs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Trocheck is a guy that can hold down a 1C spot.
mean, just last year, he put up 77 points, 25 goals. On a good Rangers team with 21 minutes of ice time. That's first line deployment right there, right? That was last year. This year, the numbers aren't quite so good, but the team took a nosedive.
Yep.
So I'm not convinced. I don't think that he's going to hit that 77 number again. But I'm not convinced that he is doesn't still have something to offer to a team as an elite 2C. So
yeah,
worse than Horvat though.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think below G, Horvat and Kopi.
Yep.
But I'm fine with that.
But now the last thing, we were talking about Kadri. Do we bump Kadri up to please be my 2C? He's currently, I think he kind of stands out in the not a 1C category.
I think he should be.
Okay.
And I'm honestly have him ahead of Trocheck, I think.
Okay.
Because I think there's that ceiling to Kadri's game.
I'm content with that then. We'll move him to please be my 2C. We'll put him above Vinny, but below Horvat. And we'll say our not a 1C category is just Stamkos, Lindholm, and Couturier, which I think that is a group that belongs together.
Kind of, yeah.
Like for different reasons, but
I almost think Lindholm is a please be my 2C, but I don't think they're begging him to be a 2C.
I don't think he has the same kind. Like
I don't think he's holding down a 1C spot. If
you're like really hurting for that center depth, then like sure. But I don't think a good team I could see, the Avs or something making that kind of trade, but like not happily. Like that's not a team that has good centers that is set up for that. I don't think is looking at Lindholm as an answer for how they could get better.
Yeah. I agree. But I think he is solidly a 2C in this league. But like I think all the guys who are in the please be my 2C is if your 1C gets hurt for 20 games, you're not like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
Right.
You're like, okay, yeah, Eriksson, he can hold it down, right? Horvat can play 1C for a month.
Yeah.
Kadri can play 1C for a month for us.
Yeah.
That's no problem. We're not going to follow the playoffs. Lindholm,
you're a little bit more crying in the club there.
I'd probably agree, yeah. Is there anyone you want to move at this point? Other than moving Nas up?
No, I
know you probably want to put Cooley in the MVP tier, but
in 3 years, mark my words. No, probably not. But no, I like our list. I like our list how it is. I think it turned out pretty well.
Do you want to make a case for Sid or Nick Suzuki splitting up the Jacks, or are you?
No, the Jacks can stay together. The Jacks can stay together. I'll allow it. I would just, let the record show, I would rather have Nick Suzuki as my 1C than either Jack. But that's a lot of because of injury concerns. So,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with how this list turned out. I hope our viewers I hope you guys all hate our list and that you're clamoring in the comments right now to tell us how terrible of a job we did and why your favorite player is this good and, actually Ropa Hintz is a 2C at best or whatever. I don't know. Whatever we did, we put we're going to put the link in the description here. So if you want to tweet at us or comment at us or do whatever, we're fourth line plugs, please by all means tell us what we did wrong.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from y'all.
Give us all the feedback.